Well, thank you all for joining me in this fight to save our health care. It may be April Fool's Day, but we don't think our health care is a joke. I'm glad to be here with so many groups together in favor of saving our health care. I just wish that it was under better circumstances. I wish we were here today to talk about how to protect workers from rising premiums and address deductibles so high that they send families into debt. But that's not why we're here. I wish we were here to talk about reducing rising health care costs or expanding mental health care services for Americans in need. But that's not why we're here. I wish we were here to talk about freeing more people from opioid addiction or ending the health care disparities that continue to imperil communities of color. But that's not why we're here. I wish we were here to talk about letting the possibility of creating a public health insurance option or finally delivering on the promise of universal health coverage for every American. But sadly, that's not why we're here. In fact, we aren't here to talk about any of the many ways that we could move our healthcare system forward. Instead, we're coming together once again to call out Donald Trump for trying to take us backwards. It was bad enough that President Trump already attacked the constitutionality of federal protections for people with pre-existing conditions. Now he's calling on the courts to strike down all of the Affordable Care Act. I have to say, when I saw the president tweet that the Republican Party would soon be known as the party of health care, I nearly fell out of my chair. The Republican Party is not the party of health care, it is the party of no care. Trump's latest decision literally jeopardizes quality, affordable health care for hundreds of millions of Americans. I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not. If you're one of the 133 133 million Americans, or 3.8 million New Jerseyans with a pre-existing condition, President Trump is attacking you. He's attacking the very protections that stop healthcare insurance companies from discriminating against you just because you survived a battle with cancer, or struggled with a chronic condition like diabetes, or depression, or even gave birth to a child. If you're one of the more than 5 million New Jerseyans, or 156 million Americans with coverage through your employer, President Trump is attacking you. He's threatening your protections from lifetime limits and annual caps, which prohibit health insurance companies from denying you care just when you needed it the most. If you're one of the 15 million Americans, including more than 255,000 New Jerseyans who bought coverage on the individual marketplace for 2019, President Trump is attacking you. He wants to scrap the tax credits that make premiums more affordable and sell you junk plans that don't actually cover essential benefits like prescription drug coverage or maternity care or mental health services. If you're already among the nearly 15 million Americans and well over 500,000 New Jerseyans now covered by Medicaid expansion, President Trump is attacking you. And to those Republicans who claim that they want to fight the opioid epidemic, they should know that nationwide, 4 out of every 10 adults with substance abuse disorder depend on Medicaid coverage to deal with their addiction. And if you're one of the 2 million young people, including nearly 60,000 New Jerseyans who have been able to stay on their parents' health insurance plans until the age of 26, President Trump is attacking you as well. And finally, if you're one of the 60 million seniors or disabled Americans enrolled in Medicare, including 1.6 million here in New Jersey, President Trump is attacking you. That's because if Trump gets his way, seniors will no longer have access to free primary care visits or protection from the Medicare donut hole. Reforms that since 2010 have saved 12 million Medicare beneficiaries a combined $26 billion on their prescription drugs. That's an average of $2,200 per senior. So here's the bottom line. The Trump administration's latest legal assault on the Affordable Care Act isn't just an attack on people with pre-existing conditions or low-income workers on Medicaid or seniors with high prescription drug costs. It's an attack on all of us. And make no mistake, President Trump's Republican enablers in Congress are complicit in this scheme to take health care away from millions. To be honest, I chuckled to myself when I read that some of my Republican colleagues weren't pleased by Trump's latest line of attack on the Affordable Care Act. I suppose they don't want to remind the American people that they spent nearly a decade trying to strip health care away from millions of Americans. But despite all of Trump's campaign promises about better, cheaper health care, Trump care has always meant no care. I guess we should all be thankful to President Trump for reminding us what's just at stake in November of 2020. Because what's at stake is nothing short of American lives, the lives of neighbors, colleagues, and loved ones who will die without access to affordable care. The truth is, the Republican Party is counting on all of us to grow weary in this fight, to stop showing up on days like today, to forget what this fight is all about. Well, we're not going to forget. We're not going to relent. We will save our health care. We will save American lives, and we will never give up on the idea that health care is a human right.